a new home for a while. Let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride.
Welcome to Hamble the Rice.
Yeah, and the Happy Life Show
Happy
on
Life
tour again.
On tour again, we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Would you like some water?
Yes, thank you. Taxomuka. Is that all water?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And Ozay thought it was a great time to take me out for a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Ozay
man.
asked for a cup of coffee, the biggest one.
The biggest cup, I said, the biggest cup you've ever seen, I said, because you kept me awake all night last night. This is what I get. So,
Welcome.
welcome to Hamble the Rice.
Yeah, and the Happy Life Show
Happy Life
on
Show.
tour again.
On tour again, we are.
Yeah, all right.
Boats. What makes you think we like boats?
Well, you are Mr. Boat, isn't it? Just to give people an hobby, huh? A
Yeah.
positive hobby instead of addictions.
Instead of addiction.
Yeah.
You can have positive addiction, you can have negative addiction.
Yeah, so far without any positive results, really.
You can have addiction to training, which can be constructive for the body, or you can have an addiction to alcohol and drugs, which is destructive. So the addiction
For
can
the
be
self.
used as a positive focal focus.
Yeah, but addiction is detrimental not only for the self but for society at large, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, meditation, because we talk a lot about meditation, it gets rid of the addictive personality type. But in effect, all people have some form of addiction that if you take it away from them, their life will become unbalanced and unhealthy.
Some people become just plain aggressive.
Yeah, all that.
Verbally or physically.
Yeah.
When you take that which they desire, that they're addicted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take all the important things away from your life and see how you do it. And that's what meditation does. Takes all the important, what you class as important, away from your life, and then you start breaking under the pressure of not having nothing. But the funny thing is, once you jump over the abyss of that, initial phase of going through non-attachment, then you become like, wow, blissed out, man. Really good. So it's a funny one, really, to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is,
We are sitting in the full sun.
Yeah.
Because you were cold all the time. You're surely not cold now.
Oh, no, I'm not. No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, 20 minutes we can sit in full sun and then I move into the shade.
Aye. There's a boat being taken out over there.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, it looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah. I can show them.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this thing. Yeah. I hope you can see it. The boat is, the people who have it stored here, they only have to give a phone call. And then the marina person will put the boat in the water for them. Because we are coming up to a bank holiday here, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. well. Is that
It'd be all right here, but if there was no people here, except us,
bank holiday?
I'm joking, of
Yeah.
course.
We do like solitude, don't we?
Well, yeah, but you've got to integrate a bit of this and a bit of that,
Yeah.
haven't you? You can't be too far one way or you become,
Reclusive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Funny thing about it is, so when I meditate, I'm like pretty happy everywhere I am, with people, without people, with dogs, without dogs. I like dogs.
They are lovely, aren't they?
I was watching one in the back of somebody's car on the way up here, and one of those, what we had, Major, what was his breed? He was a
Oh, that is Cocker Spaniel, no?
Cocker, no,
Was it
yeah,
Cocker? Cocker
Cocker,
Spaniel?
something else, and he was like one of them. And when you had one of those dogs, you're like, wow, you know, they're just so intelligent, so sensitive. If you raise your voice, they, you know, they get hurt feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you just got to be careful how you treat them.
Very smart.
Yeah, very smart, though, aren't they?
We
That's why
trained them.
they train them so much.
We
don't
trained them for the Hearing Dog
Yeah,
Association,
we
for
trained
the
them
hearing impaired people.
Yeah,
Really
that's right.
wonderful.
Is he?
That's what I say. People were coming. Look, another one is loading his boat. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. This used to be Moody's yard.
Was it?
And no, not this year, but this is Hamble the Rice, yeah?
Yeah.
And Moody's is just up by there where the bridge is. And that's where they would do all the filming for that popular, what was it called? Very popular in the 80s.
Onedian line.
Onedian Line, that's the one. And they
Seriously?
done all, yeah, honestly, they done all the filming up by there. Just up there a bit.
We can film a bit later.
Yeah.
I can put it in there.
Aye. And
And the rescue service center is there. That's a special one too.
yeah.
Because of the tide here. It's in the middle of the river. This is the River Hamble behind us.
Yeah.
And we normally go to the other side. It's closer to where we live. The rising sun. It's on the other side of the river.
I think I know that song, Rising Sun. I was just wondering if I can play it on my harmonica. No.
Not everybody appreciates that, darling.
Nah. Miserable bastards.
Last time we were here, there was a boat show.
Yes, there was.
Look.
You're trying
Oh, do you know what that is?
What?
It is the tour. You can take a tour, like in Portsmouth Harbour.
Oh, it's a touring boat, is it?
And this one might go all the way here from Portsmouth Harbour. You can book this from Portsmouth.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought it was the ferry to...
No, it's the
the Isle of Wight.
touring boat for tourists, yeah. You can stay in the harbour, but this one takes you all the way to the Hamble.
Oh.
Yeah. Now I remember. I'll quickly show you if I can. It's just leaving.
Over there.
Yeah, it's nice. Maybe it takes you 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe.
Oh, wow. Yeah. He just came in like 10 minutes ago, or 5 minutes ago. Now he's on his way out, isn't he?
Yeah, well, the River Hamble is not that long, is it?
No.
Yeah, nice. And when you live here, you don't do things like that, do you?
You don't even recognise it half the time, do you?
No.
It's like everyone from where I come from, originally in Wales, yeah, they all want to come down on the south coast and they want to put their towels out and they want to sunbathe, they want to do all the tours around you, you know, Portsmouth Harbour and all the marinas and what have you, and the fishing. And, well, lots of things going on down here, like seaside stuff. And then all the people from here, if you listen to where they want to go to Wales, where I come from.
Yeah. Inland,
they want to go, oh, the Welsh people are so lovely, and they're really nice up there. Wales is nice and such green and pleasant land. And then when you see them on their little videos, and they stick their videos up, they always forget the one major thing about Wales: it always rains, doesn't it?
Especially on the West
Yeah.
Coast, yeah.
Like we've been watching those van lifers, and
Yeah.
every one of them, for some reason, they all seem to end up on the west coast of Wales. Don't
Well,
they?
the three that we are following,
Yeah.
they were all in Wales at the same time, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. And they all seem to head towards Wales, don't they?
Yeah.
And then, like, they try to make their channel sort of like popular, so they have to try to stay upbeat all the time, like, and they're like, and it's pissing down with rain, and they're trying to, oh, Wales, yes, it's really nice, yeah, it's all right, yeah, fucking rains all the time. And so, like, yeah, but it is nice. I mean, I got used to the rain. I did when I was. We used to go off into the mountains in Wales, and you know, we used to camp out, and sometimes you go up, like, and it's a nice clear day like this, and then in moments, like, the cloud descends on you, and you don't know where you are, because we used to go by landmarks, and you could see, oh yeah, this is where we live over here, this is where we go into, easy to find. But when you can't see 2 meters in front of you, you get lost, like. And so when we used to go off track, and that was often a problem, especially when the weather used to change like that. But you get kind of used to it. You learn what to do. You know, you learn how to deal with it.
When you grow up in the area, yeah.
Did you know, for instance, right, that when you don't know where you are and you've got no landmark to set your bearings to, like without no compass, that if you keep walking what you think is a straight line, you actually go around in circles like this, because for some reason
we have one dominant leg over the other, and that might have something to do with that.
I think so, yeah, probably. And it's true, because that's what used to happen to us. I remember that happening on a couple of occasions.
Do you know why native Indians in America, walk in a line?
No.
Well, because the last one...
get back to where they started from.
No.
They go right around the world like that, and then they come back to where they started.
If you have enough Indians. But that's not the reason. The reason is that the last one keeps an eye on the front. So as soon as he can see the first person sticking out of the rope, he should not be able to see the first person.
All right, yes.
Then you walk straight.
Where did you learn that from?
I have a master degree in everything.
Right. She's a master. She's got these special titles, and it said on one of her letters that she's an Illuminati. I didn't know nothing about that. These people are controlling the world. Do you know that, don't you?
An Illumini.
An Illuminati.
But you are a master.
Ah, yeah, I know. Master Beta.
Yeah! Your first name is Master?
Yeah.
And Beta?
Beta.
Surname?
Yeah, I remember there was somebody in our class in school, right? He was called Baker. And in them days, right, as a pupil of the school, he was called Master. Master Cornick, Master Jones,
oh, yes.
Master Evans.
A young boy is called a Master, yeah.
And then there was this one kiddie called Baker. And you're called Master Baker. And it was so easy. And we used to like fall over like that, laughing. Master Baker.
Underwear humor, we call that in Holland.
Underwear. Yeah. Master Bakers. Yeah.
No. Underwear humor.
Underwear humor? Oh, we don't have that over here, do we? We have dark humor.
I just made up that word because I don't know how you would translate it.
Yeah, and anyway, life's chilled, isn't it?
Life is good, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
We see all sorts around us. You guys won't see it, but we see people loading up trolleys. They are all going to their boats.
Give them a view. I often think it's funny, like, is people get boats, and but
Yes.
I sometimes like sit down and I watch us people, and how we chase after like all these people now. They're all going on their boats because it's a bank holiday, yeah, and they're like, packing up to go somewhere, and some of them they just go out and they sail around in a circle. They get the wind in the sails, and then they come back, and I think, what is that all about? Like, I always kind of relate to that time when I was in the Caribbean, when I realised that I was still me, wherever I went, still uncomfortable, still stinking flies and
But
hot weather and
even if we are
humidity. And
in the van going somewhere, and you see everybody else around you, we all are the center of our world. Huh?
aye,
So, and we all going somewhere all the time, isn't
yeah,
it? If it's not physically, we are somewhere else in our mind instead of
yeah.
being present here.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, that's what I was trying to say about that back of the banana boat syndrome. I was at the back of the banana boat thinking, wow, yeah, I'm out here. And where I wanted to be where Bob Hope and Bing Crosby was. And there was this big flies flying, like this big they were, this big, these flies. And it was like bombarded, and he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, get out the way, like, these flies. And it was hot, and it was dehydrating all the time. You felt uncomfortable. And the reality of it was, like, you go there, and it just ain't it,
Totally different than you imagined it
the
would be.
imagination, yeah, it's and the imagination. And then I went back home, I remember, bullshitting all my, yeah, I was only like 15 at the time, you have to remember. And go back home, yeah, I went to Dominica, I went to Barbados, I went to Jamaica, man. And I went to all these little different islands, and beautiful, like.
Venezuela, have you been to
And then,
Venezuela?
no. And then you get out, like, and you go into those places, like we spent time in Jamaica. This was when I was in the army this time. Been everywhere. And like Jamaica, I remember sending my mother a postcard of the place I was in Jamaica. And looked beautiful on a postcard. But I walked past the house, it was a picture of an house, absolutely stunk of shit. And they had like open sewage running down there.
Yeah, the pavement.
Well, not the pavement, it was like a gully.
Oh.
But it was stinking, and there was flies and
Well, in the Dominican,
yeah.
I was in the Dominican after my father passed away. We flew out to South America to pay our last respect. And we had to have a stop on the Dominican island, Dominican Republic, is it? And we had to have an overnight stay there, all arranged, okay? But I was wondering why there were no seats outside, like you see us now sitting outside. You would expect to see that in the tropics. And well, cockroaches this big,
Ooh,
this big, came out of the sewage that run by the pavement. So as soon as the sun went under, sunset, they seriously, thousands of them, and they crawl up the bar where you had to order your drink, and oh my God, never ever again.
When you talk about cockroaches, it reminds me of eating them. Yeah, and when I was in the army, this was like, and we were in Jamaica, man, or we were in Barbados or somewhere like that, man, and we were there, and I better not talk like that.
No.
Anyway, we was out in Jamaica.
Even doing that is now political incorrect, isn't it?
You can't be true. You can't be serious, man.
But you don't mean anything by it. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, and anyway, so we had this place, we had to security it, and we had a camp there, and we had a little fridge in this little hut, right? And we'd make our sandwiches there. And so we'd had to like stay on guard duty through the night as well as the day. And we used to go there in the night time, right? And then you turn the light on, and you see all these cockroaches dispersing, like, because it'd be covered everywhere with cockroaches, right? And then you open the fridge, and you think they wouldn't get in the fridge, wouldn't they? They were in the fridge. And then you'd make a sandwich, and I remember making my first couple of Sandies out there. I don't know what the Sandies were, but I know incorporated into those Sandies was cockroach, and you bite into it and it's absolutely bitter taste, and it crunches in your throat. It takes a bit of getting used to, like, you know, but after you've eaten a half dozen of them, I would say,
No
you get
way.
kind of used to it.
You didn't eat them.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah,
real.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's horrible. No, that's horrible. You're pulling my leg. That's
No.
disgusting. You get illness in it. They
I
live
don't
in the
know.
sewage, of course.
Well, you know, I mean, it's their protein at the end
They
of the
live
day.
now, but they live in sewage.
Yeah, but if you're into survival, you know what I mean? You eat what's available.
I-
Although we had, like we were the British Army, we could have done with a bit more protein, I think, in our meals. No,
No, horrible.
yeah,
Yeah, so that is just the point here, is that things seem to be really nice in our fantasy and how we
Yeah.
imagine things to be, but the reality often is completely
Well,
different.
what about Nick and Sara, right? And we knew this, right?
They are fan lifers.
Yeah, and they talk like, I tell you what, they were traveling around Britain, right? And they were going to all these various places. They're kind of like hippie type people, I would say, you know,
They are
like
vegetarians,
chilled out.
and they are very.
Were they vegetarians?
Yes,
I
they
know
are.
Liam and
Janine,
Janine is vegetarian.
Yeah.
They keep knocking it,
Yeah.
not knocking it, pumping it
Only
out there all the
Massey
time.
and Dan, they are not vegetarians.
So like, and they like this Nick and Sara, they was traveling, and again they were like trying to keep it upbeat all the time, like. And,
They were in Wales this time.
and there was they got drenched in Wales, of course, and they were trying to like put the bright side on it, but you could see they were pissed off with the weather out there, and it's like everywhere you go now is they got like you can't park there because somebody's abused it, and the council have put height restrictions, so if you're a van you can't get in there, or you know, if you go somewhere and you stay too long, they're gonna bump up you know, you're gonna pay a fine and all kinds of stuff. And then you've got people knocking on their doors complaining, and so like I think that was it for Nick and Sara. They got pissed off with that. They got a place in Spain, a little shack, like
little cottage, really small.
More like an holiday cottage, isn't
really
it?
Small, but because they are full-time fan lives, they only need something really small.
Yeah. And so like they get pissed off with all that, like, you know, and then they got this idea that they tell you about on there. Let's go to Spain, yeah. And so they go to Spain, and me and Ahiranta, we say like, I don't want to go there. It's too hot, like, you know what I mean? It's just unlivable, that is, and you can see it coming before they get there, and then they go there, and do you know what they are doing most of the time? They're spending most of their time in the daylight hiding from the sun, trying to find shade for their van and their two dogs, like, you know, underneath the trees.
They are in Portugal at the moment.
Near the coast.
And it was in the 40s, eh?
Yeah.
They had to go
40.
back to the mainland.
Yeah.
Because, and the point you are going towards, I think, is they have the plan to buy land in Portugal, in the inland, because they can't afford to buy land by the coast. So apparently you can buy really cheap land for cheap. 6,000.
That one they looked at was 16,000 euros.
One was 6,000, the next
16, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
16.
The first one was 6,000. Then they went to look at one that was double the price, 16 or 12, and then another one they're going to look at.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it's so hot they couldn't do it. They couldn't.
It's like
to
I was surprised, man, to see that there was fruit trees out there, and you know,
beautiful.
Everyone who owns a patch. That was Portugal.
Yeah.
Everyone who got their little patch, they have a couple. I don't remember you them saying how many acres they had, but it was a few acres maybe.
No, not even lots of acres, but they had all kinds, orange trees, fig trees, grapes.
Yeah.
So that is really nice.
And I think that's a good idea for this country
The rest is barren, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was so hot that it took them weeks before they were able to travel inland. So they even came to realize that what they thought,
I mean, you look at the ground there; it's all sand. You know, it's like it's infertile. A lot of that is, and
takes a lot of work to grow
I noticed that they had a well near where all the bushes and the trees were. So what you have to do is you have to keep getting water out of that well and watering all those trees and bushes and stuff. Otherwise, your supply of food is going to possibly run short. But I think people ought to start thinking about that in England. Start planting on every bit of available ground. Plant fruit trees, fruit bushes, vegetables that reproduce on their own, and nuts and all kinds of stuff like that.
But again, their fantasy of owning a piece of land in Portugal, the
Yeah.
reality
Yeah.
was, oh
It's
my gosh,
so
it might be really nice in autumn, winter and spring,
Mm.
but the summer in Portugal, in inland,
Yeah.
is 40, 45 degrees.
Yeah.
And you can't do nothing really
No.
during the day. After 10 until the sun sets,
Mm.
you have to hide in the shade. So
long time ago, when I was a kid, I used to have I used to see the future like I quite often do now, but not like I used to see it then. I could see it long term future, and I saw that people were like it is now actually, that you had people running from the what's the equator,
Mediterranean?
the
Mediterranean?
equatorial countries,
Okay.
moving towards the north and the south
Because of
because it
the
was too
climate
hot.
change.
And
Yeah.
they're saying like that you've got wars and stuff, and that's causing the immigrants coming over here on the boats and what have you and everything like that. But it's not true. Because I saw that information all those years ago. Although the same thing is happening, what I saw, the reason for it is not being given as I saw it. And I think that the truth is that the sun is getting hotter in the sky, and it's not human cause, CO2 and all that, although it may have a tiny part to do with it. But I think it's the sun is getting hotter, it's doing what it's supposed to do, or science must have come up with it. I'm sure if you look at science, they say that in the future the sun will get hotter, only I think the sun is already getting hotter, and it's going through phases. And I
It's
think
like
that,
a breath, isn't it?
yeah, because I saw everyone was moving up to the north, more so the north and the south,
Yeah.
and that
It is a good idea to cut down on
Yeah.
CO2 and stuff, of course. We have no right to pollute the earth and the air. But they use all kinds of excuses, which is a natural phenomenon,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, politicians, right? It's like the bunch who's in now in America and in England. These people are the ones who's running the world, right? But they are making financial gain. They want to get as much out of this planet as they can. And they're not going to give you the real reasons why these things are happening. They're going to give you reasons that makes that you have to pay more for it. And they got to take the power away from you as well. And taking money away from us people is taking power away. So they make us weaker, they become stronger. They have all the technology.
They
We don't.
try to keep us financially just ticking over, because
Yeah.
then
You
you
go
are
slaves.
focused on your survival.
Ah,
As soon as you get more money than you need, you become more relaxed and you start thinking more for yourself. Wait a minute, I don't want to lose what I have now.
yeah.
But if you have nothing to start with, most likely you will not stand up until you are really on the breadline, and then because you don't want to lose that which you have already.
Well,
They keep us
people
in
started
chain.
feeling more secure in the 70s, didn't they? And then you had all those mass protests, mass strikes, and especially in the United Kingdom.
You're not anymore.
No, well, what happened? They took the unions away, which took the power away from the working class people.
Yeah.
And then it's like, the thing is, when you get older, you start seeing a repeat of things, a recurrence of everything all the time. And then the first time you saw it, you say, oh yeah, right, okay. Then you see it again, then you see it again. And then you start asking questions. You start asking questions about what you hear on the news, and you start looking for answers. You will start finding out things that you will be surprised about. And it's just the way it's supposed to be, I guess.
Yeah, we humans have to evolve beyond the point of greed.
Fear. Yeah.
Greed, because
Where does greed come from?
yeah, exactly.
Where does it come
Everything
from?
Fear. Yeah.
From fear, yeah.
Yeah.
Fear, greed is about
It's just a
is about
sign.
putting all the richness in for yourself so that you can last longer than everyone else.
Yeah.
So you outlive everyone else. That's fear, fear-based. That's greed. So you can't have hate or anger, you know. Let's don't go there. I don't want to evoke in anybody anger towards rich people.
Oh,
You should have
no.
compassion towards them
Yeah.
because they're suffering the same thing as you.
Some,
And if you were in their position, you'd do the same thing.
some rich people do very good with their money.
Some do, yeah, absolutely.
And the ones that do, you don't hear about.
No, you don't.
So,
Some stay somewhere in the middle because they are corrupted by their greed, too much corrupted, and they don't give. You know, they don't go in. This is a great example of give. Yeah, she makes me feel totally insecure and test me right to that point, like where I'm gonna fall down and collapse and die in fear, like
you
tomorrow.
don't. You
And then
don't.
she says tomorrow never comes.
No.
She's true because I'm gonna die soon. No, die of starvation. Well, at least we got a coffee before we go. No. Anyway,
Where would we be without coffee?
yeah, but everything that's bad in this world, it's like I say, you always have to give it a question everything, and then don't stop at that point where you've made an enemy for yourself, like these politicians, like when you find out about them. But try to understand that we are all basically suffering with the same insecurities and the same fears. And if we are put into different positions, we might do a worse job of it. And credit to those who can be given richness, material wealth in life and know what they need to do with it. Personally, I think it's one of the biggest sins ever if I was to own a lot of money and keep it all to myself and not to. That's why when we bought a boat that time, and I didn't. I thought, should I buy a boat? Yeah. Well, what's is it for the greater good or is it for selfish reasons? And then I worked it out. It was both of those reasons. It was for the greater good, to help others, to have something to focus on, and to help them in health, mentally and physically. And I could get a bit of enjoyment with seeing that and maybe doing it myself. But of course, that was the intention. So I was able to spend something for myself in a way, but it didn't end up that way, did it? The way that we planned it.
No. Because we can make as many plans as we like,
Yeah.
but life has its own way of working out.
Yeah, but greed is a bad karma really, because it keeps you in that cycle. You'll come back again. Like let's say you get rich and you didn't do the proper thing with it, and you'll come back again, and you'll be born poor, and you'll understand. You'll be in the great teacher, the universal mind or master consciousness, is trying to teach you to become bigger and wiser, like a god, and he's teaching you to be like part of the flow, as opposed to trying to grab it all for yourself. And so you have to be free from it. What's up? I thought there was something not right. And
Otherwise, you get the burn.
yeah. I got sweat running down my back.
It's all right.
It's good,
That will cool you down.
Yeah. If it wouldn't going to do that, I wouldn't feel it, would I? Because it's a definite difference. Everywhere it runs to down my back, there's a different feeling. And that difference is temperature. Wow. Isn't this enlightening, everyone? Sweat running down my back. You never knew you could have a talk about that. Yeah. Look, Barcelona, 1876 on that canopy. We were just talking about.
Estrella. That must be a
Spain.
Spanish beer. Estrella. Yeah. I can make some side shots.
Aye.
Thank you all for watching.
Yes. Adios.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.